Hello creatives, welcome to Artist Star. My name is Beth and I am at the gallery today for the Zodiac series. This reading is for Geminis, whose correlating major arcana card is the Lovers. This is the Artist card, here to represent you as the open vessel, ready to receive whatever source can draw from the well of infinite creativity. So Gemini, this is the autumn solstice spread. It is all about gratitude. So we're going to begin in this first row with the archetype cards and ask the question, in what area of life is my fullest creative vibration at this time? In the second row with the creativity oracle, we're going to ask, how best can I begin to tap this energy? And in the third row with the Soul's Journey deck, we're going to ask what would help to acknowledge and to release at this time. Then we're going to follow up with the tarot deck that I've had, 60 years. And as you can see, some of that was our beagle. Got that card. So I don't remember which one it is, but we'll find out when I flip it over. And then we're going to follow up with the cards of truth and with the Lenormand. And after that, we're going to ask what source else would source like to share. We're going to do a moon timing card, a starseed card, and then we're going to roll the dice, the astrology dice, and find out if give us some more to look deeper into your own astrological chart. You can look at your birth chart, or you could look at the transits over your birth chart. That would just be your daily horoscope, and see if any of what we get from the dice will give you more information, a little more tidbits. All right, so let's get started and turn over this first row, the archetype card in particular first, and see what the cards have for you today. This is, in what area of life is my fullest creative vibration at this time? A rebel. All right, Gemini. Yeah. Going against the flow. All right, light attributes, challenges, authority to affect social change. Rejects spiritual systems that do not serve inner needs. The shadow attributes, rejects legitimate authority out of anger, rebels out of peer pressure or fashion. That would sound like a follower, just kind of hanging on the coattails of another rebel, kind of like a gang or something. There's always a leader, and that being a rebel can really be a good thing, but it can also be just trouble from a troubled source. So hopefully this is you just exercising your freak flag outside the box and just really allowing your inner glow to come shining on through. Let's hope so, because if you're a rebel without a cause, that's just kind of destructive behavior for yourself and for others. Or you could just be so tied in or so bought and drank the Kool-Aid of something that you can't get out of your own way, or just, and there's an inability to acknowledge what needs to be different, thought differently about it, behaved differently about it, that you haven't got so invested in what you're rebelling against. It's just for rebellion's sake. that's just a waste of energy, right? I guess it's what I'm trying to say here. Not coming out very well to begin this thing, but let's stick with that thought because a rebel card is like a really nice artist card to get. And I think that if you are expressing yourself outside the boundaries of the norm, that could be very, very good. You know, sort of being that symbol of change and, well, like an influencer, right? Rebels are influencers. So you've got to use that power well. All right, let's look at this old beat up, beagle chewed card and see what it is. Ah, the Nine of Cups, that's right. The Nine of Cups. Success, material, and attaining well-being. You got it all. So this rebel thing's working for you. This is awesome. Great to see here because this says that you are doing your rebellousness in the best way possible. If it is getting you what you need to be happy, right? And this is a very happy card, a very successful card. It's attainment of emotional well-being as well, happiness, you know? So this is good. You're happy with what you're doing. You are feeling good about it. You're affecting some social change around it. You are clear spiritually about what serves you and what doesn't. You are listening to your own drums. I like that. All right, let's see what the cards of truth have. So we've got the Queen of Diamonds in reverse. So the Queen of Diamonds is an interesting energy. Feminine being the red suit. And also it's that Neptune energy. So it also encapsulates the 4s, 5s, and 6s, which are stability, always having enough, just coasting and enjoying and feeling good about things, very stable card. And then your 5s, which are sorting through what needs to get sorted through, gleaming the nuggets, and then discovering what really does work. And then the 6s, which are validation from an outside source. And in the diamond suits, that would be your skills, your talents, your financial ability, and what you hold value in, which could be like reputation or how much you can influence with whatever it is that you are doing. Your thing outside the box here as a rebel. Very nice. She can be through controversial means, right? So that's not always a bad thing. That just means, once again, she thinks outside the box. And she is one of the most respected and also influential with her society around her. She is in reverse. So maybe this is what you're stepping into. You just haven't realized it yet, that what you're doing here can bring you here. I always see reversed cards as being needing to be reminded of, or you need that seed of thought to get started on something that you haven't quite thought about it yet. So that could easily be what that is. But let's keep going and find out. Let's see what the Lenormand card has. You got the bear, which is an interesting card here. And the Lenormand card talks about it as being a source of income and how you wield that power of being strong and fair with your resources. Not exactly, doesn't need to be money, right? It means value. So once again, you've got this Nine of Cups, which is the emotional cups, right? Cups are emotion. So your success, and you are happy in what you have, not necessarily money. It could be your skills and your talent, your peeps, your influence. It's like you're on the road to something bigger, and you're doing this solely through being who you are at your best. You have come out of the closet, so to speak. And whatever closet that is, as an intuitive, as a light worker, as someone who wants to influence fashion, or in a good way. I know that's one of the shadow attributes, but that is out of peer pressure and fashion of not being who you are, but in a disguise, if you will, trying to be something that you're not. And I don't see that here. I see this as you being just a bright, beautiful, creative you, and you understanding who you are at your best and wearing it proudly. And knowing that there is more out there for you. All right, so let's move on to the second row and see what the Creativity Oracle has for you, and ask, how best can I begin to tap this energy? Procrastination, such an interesting card. You don't look like a procrastinator at all. But it says, stop focusing on your problems and excuses. Take a small step and do something constructive. So maybe you are just sitting too happy in what you've gained. And as I said earlier, you just haven't realized that there is a lot more out there for you in what you're doing. You could be bigger and better and influencing a lot more than what you are now in the best way possible, right? Affecting social change through challenging authority, which would just be, flying your flag and letting people see that who don't normally see. It's like a mirror, right? And just to accept that spirituality is a very individual thing. Just needs to serve you and the greater good with empathy and kindness and peace. Nothing aggressive. Don't really need to. Need to be that warrior of peace. So procrastination. So I'm going to let you look at that for a second. I'm going to leave this card this side up so that you can look at it more during the reading. So procrastination, as I'll read it one more time, stop focusing on your problems and excuses. Take a small step and do something constructive. So it's time to step outside that comfort zone and be looking for ways to up the ante. All right. Ooh, the Tower. Oh my goodness. So this is a tipping point, isn't it? Yeah, this is Source stepping in to pull that rug out from underneath this, just shake you up a little bit so that you understand that you're going to be called to do something bigger than what you're doing right now. And I don't think you're going to mind it. You might be sort of in denial at the moment just because you're enjoying yourself, and that's perfectly fine. You enjoy whatever it is that you have have gotten yourself. You've earned it, clearly. Not everybody is comfortable with who they are or who they are in their own skin. Clearly, you are, and flaunting it, which is beautiful, and being rewarded for it. So you be true to yourself. That is perfect. And just know there is something more coming. And with whatever upset, this is just really a lesson, right? There's no failure. There's no, well, you know what I like to call the Tower card? This I like calling making lemonade out of lemons. So life's going to hand you something. It's going to hand you something because you're ready for it. You're ready to step into this queen role. You just don't know it yet. So you're going to get an eye-opener, and it's going to have a silver lining, and you're going to realize another level of value about who you are and just how unique you are. So when it does happen, it's going to be this wake-up call. The Tower always is. You're going to not really expect it. And then once it happens, you're going to be, well, of course. Right? Should have seen that coming. But of course you don't. And this is why you get the Tower card. It's time. Source, your daimon, your fate, destiny is saying, all right, you need this. This is the way it has to happen. This is an incident along your path to get you to know yourself better. Whatever comes out of this is going to be a deeper self-knowledge that you are going to layer another layer on who you are. And it's just going to be another beautiful, lovely filter for you. All right, so don't despair. It is something that is necessary. 7 of Hearts. Okay, so this is a Tower card. It is, well, actually, the dark 7s are the Tower card. The red 7s, they are the Death card. So mini deaths, right? Little awakenings in order to figure out something better for yourself. This is like rejuvenation. It is you understanding that something has had its time. It's time to let it go. It's not working for you anymore. And we're talking about something on an emotional level. This is Saturn energy, so it is a life lesson energy. But what that's going to do for you, Gemini, is this Rebel card is just going to get deeper and more juicy, more you, more real about it, more grounded. You are going to realize another whole layer to you. You're going to be stronger for this. Wow. All right, let's move on to the Lenormand card. It's the Child in reverse. So again, something to be reminded of, that when you come into this, and we'll see more with the timing of this too. We might get more information there. But right now, we're just going to focus on this Child card and understand that you need to be very kind, very generous, very self-caring through this. It might not seem like a big upset, but you really want to take a moment and absorb exactly what this is. This is going to bring you to a whole new level of you. And that energy clearly is a lovely, beautiful, influencing energy. The world needs that right now. So stick with it. Take your time with this. Baby steps, just as this one. Stop focusing on problems and excuses and take a small step and do something constructive. Destructive, constructive. So yeah, that's what this is about. You becoming a more deeper, more beautiful you so that you can spread that love throughout the world. I can't even imagine what this is for you. But it's beautiful, beautiful energy, Gemini. Yeah. I'm being reminded now to remind you of that Rebel card because you don't want to be hanging on to, what's the word for it? Like dark beliefs about things, or no, that's not it. It is just more, you want to be as truthful and open and honest about your core being. Don't do this shadow thing of just rejecting out of anger, or those are the people that are going to be most benefit from what you are. You just are. So you want to show people that the right way to be a rebel. It's the right way to be a rebel, not just, clashing horns with someone for the sake of clashing horns out of anger. So that anger, you need to look deeper. If there's any of that there for you, just look deeper when this happens. It's not so much about the outside world. It's more about the inner you that's going to get woken up, okay? And you're going to understand that some emotional fixation of the shadow attribute is going to need sorting through so that you can let go, deconstruct, figure it out, and build that back up step by step. You just need to be reminded to do that with kindness and curiosity and joy through the eyes of a child, empathetic, sweet. Be kind to yourself while this is happening, because you are going to just be something much more magnificent on the other side. All right, let's move on to the third row and ask what would help to acknowledge and release at this time. Courage. I love it. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be a wake-up call, right? And that takes courage and willingness to make those lemons into lemonade. And it's going to hurt. It's an emotional hit. But as an artist, what better way? I mean, that's where you can really dig deep, pull that thread, see where it goes. Why? Ask why with kindness and generosity, courage and willingness to figure it out. And you'll know what to let go of. Kindness, generosity, and gifts. 6 of Pentacles. Yes. So there may be something in giving back to society, this influential you as a rebel, that is great. However, you need to be careful about giving too much. I'm getting that what you really want to do is to show people how to get into their own juicy rebelness, not by giving them every minute thing to copy. That would be the shadow attribute. That would be inviting your audience to dress like you, be like you. You want to encourage them to be who they are. That's your challenge here. That will be what your wake-up call is about. And you might be a little shocked to find out that what influence you're having on people is to encourage them to follow and to not be a leader. So whatever that is for you to understand. And I'm remembering something that someone told me once about giving your power away. You want to hang on to that power. That power is strength. So you don't give the people the answers. You give them questions to get curious about and find their own answers. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. So, yeah. All right, let's get on to the cards of truth. Love it. The Ace of Hearts. Oh my God. After the 7, that is brilliant. Beautiful. Lovely. Okay, so this is sun energy. This is you. This is security and love and peaceful change. Oh my goodness. It's a new love, a new self-love for you. Absolutely incredible. I am so happy to see this here. All right, let's see what the gentleman. So I certainly hope this message got across to you. He's here to help me bring that forth, and I certainly hope that I did. Yeah, this is going to be quite a trip for you. Could feel a little bumpy, but as they say, baby steps, little steps. Be kind. Remember to be kind to yourself. Remember that you're an influencer and that you're influencing people to not be followers, but to be leaders, right? Oh, wow. This is really cool. Okay, so let's find out your timing card. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Oh, that's lovely. Spirituality and practicality. That is so perfect for you right here. I am really excited about that. All right. Because basically, that will be what you are going to be adding to your repertoire, your toolbox. You are going to just add another layer of mystique, and people are going to want to be that, but you're going to help them be that for themselves. Oh, lovely. Earth Guide. Oh, I didn't even look at that. Earth Guide, this is it. Your sacred calling upon this planet is to be simply love and be loved. Oh. Gemini, this is really beautiful. What a lovely, lovely message for you. All right, let's see where else you might look in your chart for your birth chart and or transits. Third house, communications. That's your house, Gemini. I love it. Oh, and my gosh, you got Pisces. That's beautiful. Very spiritual. See what is in with Pisces, and you got Venus, which is a very Gemini card to get. I love it. So, yeah, well, just check your chart for where Venus is. And of course, the third house you rule with communication. So think about that and how that influences your chart right now. It could give you some good ideas about how to handle what's going to be coming through for you. And again, with the Pisces, you've got that twice here, so you might as well take a lookie and see what's going on with your Pisces these days. All right, well, I've got one more thing for you. My Pema book, Spirituality, is the pocket version, Shambhala edition, and we're going to just sort through here and see what she has in mind for you. Ooh, this is interesting. Into the demon's mouth. Milarepa, who lived in the 11th century, is one of the heroes of the Tibetan Buddhism, one of the brave ones. He was also a rather unusual fellow. Sounds like you. He was a loner who lived in caves by himself and meditated wholeheartedly for years. He was extremely stubborn and determined. If he couldn't find anything to eat for a couple of years, he just ate nettles and turned green. But he would never stop practicing. The story goes that one evening, Milarepa returned to his cave after gathering firewood, only to find it filled with demons. They were cooking his food, reading his books, sleeping in his bed. They had taken over the joint. He knew about the teachings of the non-duality of self and others, but he still didn't quite know how to get these guys out of his cave, even though he had the sense that they were just a projection of his own mind. All the unwanted parts of himself, he didn't know how to get rid of them. Oof, Gemini, this is so you. I mean, the duality, the astrological part of that for this, the rebel and how you are going to do that emotional upgrade for yourself. So first he taught them the Dharma. This is like teaching yourself, right? That kindness and determination. He sat on this seat that was higher than they were and said things to them about how we are all one. He talked about compassion and emptiness and other key Buddhist teachings. Nothing happened. The demons were still there. Then he lost his patience and got angry and ran at them. They just laughed at him. Finally, he gave up and just sat down on the floor saying, "I'm not going away, and it looks like you're not either, so let's just live here together." At that point, all of them left except one. Milarepa said, "This one is particularly vicious. We all know that one. Sometimes we have lots of them like that. Sometimes we feel that's all we've got." He didn't know what to do, so he surrendered himself even further. He walked over and put himself right into the mouth of the demon and said, "Just eat me up if you want to." Then that demon left too. The moral of the story is, when the resistance is gone, so are the demons. Oh, you rebel you. I love it. Oh, just beautiful. Well, Gemini, I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please leave a comment, and I love that when you do. And yeah, this is so cool. Wow. And best of luck to you. And as always, until next time, happy creating.